I'm going to be using, not Marzano, I'm going to be using a book called The Key Elements of Classroom Management. It's by McLeod, M-C-L-E-O-D, Fisher, and Kruger for this conversation. Okay. The first thing you want to do is prevent misbehavior, or prevent small misbehavior from getting to be large misbehavior. So the first thing in this hierarchy is prevention. And the first part of prevention is positive reinforcement. There are 3 different kinds of positive reinforcers. One of them is social. A social reinforcer is specific positive feedback from a significant other. Positive feedback from a significant other. For your students, who is a good significant other? There are a number of them.
Your peer group.
Okay, their peer group. Who else?
Teacher.
Their classroom teacher. Who else?
Guidance counselor.
Guidance counselor. You're missing the most important person in your students' lives. Say it again. Yes, parents. Right. When a child goes home and the parent, mom or dad says, big hug and kiss. I got the most fabulous phone call from your library teacher today. I am so proud of you.
Isn't that an age thing, though? Because I know my kids don't really care.
No, that is an age. That is an age thing. Because when you get into middle school, you don't want to be embarrassed to death that your parent gives you a hug and kiss, first of all. I always used to have to walk 2 steps behind my daughter at the mall. So, you're not walking with me. What do you mean I'm not walking with you? I'll walk behind you, I'll walk in front of you, I'm not walking with you. In middle school, the social reinforcer is the peer. And sometimes the classroom teacher. Sometimes the classroom teacher. But it's still nice when a child goes home, I don't care if they're in high school or middle school or elementary school, when a child comes home from school and the parent says, I had such a great phone conversation today with your teacher. I'm really proud of you. Even your 18-year-old will feel good about him or herself at that point. So you just do it in different ways. So you hug and kiss. My grandchildren are still young. I hug and kiss. I always hug and kiss anyway. So, all right. Second one is a privilege reinforcer. A privilege reinforcer is something the student values that is not given to somebody else. A real privilege. You know, that's a reward, basically. You worked so hard today, I'm going to ask your classroom teacher to give you a homework pass. Okay? The third one is tangible reinforcers. That's something that can be seen or touched, such as a gold star on a paper. And I'm going to tell you, whether you're in high school or whether you're in middle school, you love smiley faces, honestly, or stars. They really do. Kids do. Okay? Those are the 3 social reinforcers. So you try using positive reinforcement for good behavior and hope that you're going to prevent misbehavior that way. Then, of course, there is negative reinforcement. The simplest of the negative reinforcements, and negative reinforcement is something not wanted by the student, is just a warning. Simple warning. And you can use non-verbal reinforcement, such as the facial expression, the teacher look, eye contact. If you just keep staring at a student who's misbehaving, they are going to know that you are staring at them. Eye contact, very, very important. Gestures, we talked about the signals and the cues that you could give. Proximity. Remove the distraction. Hey, where's my pencil? I'll give it back to you if you promise not to tap with it anymore. Or you can even do a see me later. Waiting. Waiting is something that is used a lot. You know, when you have little kids especially, or certainly big kids too, and they're chit-chatting, 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 and you are standing there in the front of the classroom, somebody in that room is going to say, hey, shh. Yeah. Okay, so waiting is another kind of nonverbal behavior. And of course, the recording of student behavior. Love clipboards. Always have a clipboard or, you know, my charts that I use. And you can certainly just come around and just start writing. You could be writing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The student doesn't know that. And right away it's, what are they writing? You know, and who's going to see it? So, recording student behavior also is another nonverbal way of trying to prevent misbehavior. And of course, there's the verbal way. The use of the student's name. You should always know your students' names. And that's why a seating chart is great in the elementary school. In the secondary school, you're not going to be able to do that. But remember I said at the beginning when we were talking that or I may have said yesterday, that one of the things I always make sure of that my students had either a handout or a note paper, just plain white lined paper at their places. And either I would have their name on it first, or when they came in randomly, I'd say, take that paper, put your name on it. And then as you're walking around, and you shouldn't just stand in one spot. When you're teaching, you should walk around, and you want to use a student's name. All you have to do is look at their name on their paper and basically say, Linda? And so kids say, how do you know my name? There are hundreds of kids in this school. And I'd say, I'm just smart. They swear to you never figured out that I was looking at the names on their papers. All right, so saying the student's name, a reminder or a prompt or a cue. You know, remember we said that there was no tapping pens in here. Remember I said I wanted all your books taken off the table and I only want your assignment out. So little reminders like that. Those are ways to prevent small misbehaviors from becoming large misbehaviors. And this handout has something called extinction. Extinction, you would love to believe, is getting rid of the problem. Totally, basically it means ignoring it. And we had just spoken about, you know, at which point do you ignore misbehavior. Once misbehavior escalates, then it's time for intervention.